Hey guys, Professor Bill Comic Book University, Black Widow issue number 3. This was a fantastic comic book where something happens in here, one major scene, and all of a sudden you're just like, holy crap, I have to watch this all unfold in front of me, and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, one of those things happens. Let's get talking about who made this comic book. We'll break into that. Kelly Thompson is the writer. Elena Casagrande, is the artist. Jordi Belair on colors. I really hate, you know this, guys. I hate when there's red letters on black background like this. It's so hard to read, for my eyes at least. VC's Corey Petit doing the letters, Adam Hughes doing the color art, and there's Jen Bartel and Annie Wu did the 2 different variant covers. Oakley dokley, I think is how it's supposed to be said. So there are all these. There's some nice moments in here, some 2 nice moments in here, where you know that something bad is going to happen later. You just know it because everybody's just enjoying themselves too much. Like it's a perfect scene almost. Not for the guy, not for the husband in here. That's messed up. Because there's the guy and the girl, and they're in love, and they're in bed, and they wake up, and they look at each other. And that's when you know real love, because that makeup nonsense that women do, F makeup. Okay, realistically, F makeup. Makeup can kiss my ass, all right? I want to look at a woman, no makeup, just wakes up out of bed, hair's all sorts of messy, and that's her. That's the real her. How you doing, baby? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? You put on that makeup to disguise yourself for them other women out there who are going to judge you all the time. All right? Because a man, I'm not saying a guy, I'm saying a man ain't going to judge no nonsense like that. She wakes up, and I'm just like, look at this girl. And so's her husband. Look at this girl. How you doing? And they're in love, and they're about to get the nook bow chicka wow wow, right? Was that one kid from Superbad? McLovin? Did I sound like McLovin? What have you now? You got them, they about to make out, and all of a sudden you hear like, car, duck. It's like, did this little mother fathead come into the room? And who hasn't this happened to? Who is married has not had this happen to them? Where it's like, this little kid, this little trapeze artist, escape artist somehow got over the crib with the bars raised, elevated, barbed wire over top of them because this has happened before, and somehow is able to get out the damn crib talking about, Mommy, Daddy, hi, can you make me breakfast? I'm going to make you an ass whooping. That's what I'm going to make you. But, like, dude, like, I'm 2 grown-ass adults. They working full-time each. They got their own projects going on, their own things, their own lives. They wake up in the morning, and they both ready, and the kid walks in. Man, look, I do not condone child abuse, but that's how child abuse happens. That's messed up, man. That is messed up. This is like the kid ensuring that he or she is the one and only. Like, that's fuss, bro. I'm saying. And that dude took that way too kindly. He's just like, oh, it's cool. It's cool. Every single guy here knows that is never cool. Never. Especially Black Widow sitting on the other side of you. Yo. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on from the humor. This was Kelly Thompson's humor. And I was like, this is the most unrealistic scene. The guy is not like swole. Like his pockets are not swole. Talk about, oh, I know this kid. Anyway, it's okay, little Johnny. I'll just take you to the park and leave your ass on the monkey bars, mother fathead. Nah, man. Anyway, it happens. It happens. So all you guys who haven't been married yet, you know what I'm saying? Just give it time. You'll see. You'll be like, Professor Bill warned me about this. So anyway, I think that's why our parents used to use hot toddies. I don't know. Maybe. So here's where it starts to get interesting. Here's where one page can make you realize that you are in the middle of a movie. This is not a regular book. This is a movie. One page. You are in a movie, and you are watching someone go into the house, and you're screaming at the screen, bitch, don't go in! Don't go in that house! You will die in that house! Oh, my God. This happens. It's this page right here. When you realize that there is nothing you can do. All the screaming, you can refuse to turn the page. It's still happening. You just aren't watching. It's like you covering your eyes. It's still happening. All this stuff happens. And suddenly your monkey bars comment. It doesn't seem right anymore, does it? It feels like, nah, man. I would take this happening 3 more times. Yo, I'm saying, you realize that there's nothing you could do, and you're just watching this movie unfold in front of you, and you're helpless, like you're caught in a nightmare you can't wake up from, strapped to a chair or something like that. Bro, this is some supervillain crap. And the idea that Thompson used Weeping Lion 2.0, question mark? 2 volumes of Black Widow ago by Samney and Wade, the volume before the Soska sisters, right? That's when we're introduced to the Weeping Lion, and we get to see the whole 2 cousins comment actually unfold. Just read that run. You won't be disappointed. And this is where my argument comes back, where it's funny when people say, and that includes like one of my heroes in the comic book industry, Jim Shooter. He's argued before, I don't see how just reading comics is your lifeline into writing comic books. No, I do, because that was actually his lifeline into it. And he did research, but basically his research was reading a lot of comic books for a year. Kelly has been reading and reviewing comic books a lot longer than I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't go the solo route. She was actually doing it for another company, which should actually probably bring that score down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. Having to live up to somebody else's standards and having to keep Marvel and DC happy so they'll keep on sending you books. F Marvel, F DC. I'm here for the stories. I'm here for the art. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect to ever get hired by these guys, because I have no problem saying when a comic book sucks. I'm not going to insult the people who made it, but I will say when a comic book sucks. This comic book did not suck. This comic book, rather, when you've got this kind of story, when you've got a writer who has, first off, the art. Oh, hells, yes. More of this, please. This is the like when you can match that perfect artist with a story that's being told. That's when you know you got a good team. I don't know how the behind-the-scenes art selection works in here. Like, does somebody just say, hey, this, Elena has nothing to do. Kelly, you mind working with her? Okay, I guess. No, I wonder if it's not, Kelly saying, hey, is Elena doing anything right now? Because I'm saying, This is a really great pairing for the story that's being told. And that's what I look for. You know what I'm saying? Backgrounds, whatever. That's all just added stuff. That's bonuses. When you have Kelly, who's read book after book after book and reviewed book after book, you know that she understands the characters, right? You know when you understand the background, the history of characters. I usually don't mention names when I say this, but I'm going to mention Donny Cates' name in this because I think that there are more than enough people who are willing to let slide Donny Cates' current Thor issue that just came out this week, issue number 9, because Donald Blake is in here and he's not a severed head. And there's a lot of people who are pissed off that he's just not a head sitting down talking like something out of freaking Reanimator. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not that deep, but I'm saying that's a deep cut. So I understand when people get upset over stuff like that. When the majority of the fans notice something that the writer just simply didn't, that's when all of a sudden you made yourself a boo-boo. And maybe you should have done a little bit more research, bruh. And it wasn't explained in the first issue. I think that we can all forgive Donny Cates. I think the bulk of us can forgive Donny Cates because I'm sure that he's going to explain it later. You know what I'm saying? Plus, he seems like the type of guy who would say, oops. And my status for being a human is not just being bipedal, is not just giving birth to live young as opposed to eggs, all right? It is the ability to say, oops, I was wrong. Oops, I made a boo-boo. Oops, my bad, all right? That is when you know that this is a solid, straight-backed human being, or at least J-shaped back. You got to have good posture. You know what I'm saying? That's when you know that this is a solid human being. When they can acknowledge that they are, in fact, a human being and that they were created perfectly imperfect. See what I said there? Kelly, I rarely ever see a mistake like that, and definitely nothing big. You know what I'm saying? She goes back in 2 volumes ago. She sees this relatively minor character, Weeping Lion, and she's just like, boom, I got this, moving forward. And it's so inconsequential. The bulk of us will just be like, hey, who's Weeping Lion? She knows. Pepperidge Farm knows. Kelly Thompson knows. All right? They know. And Toucan Sam, he's got the nose. I'm saying. Stuff like this. This is one of the reasons why, plus amazing dialogue, this is one of the reasons why I will typically always look to a Kelly Thompson book and I'll know it's going to be a great pairing of a solid artist, all right, and a great style for it. There's going to be great story, fantastic dialogue, and I'm not going to run into continuity errors. We could talk about DC one of these days with continuity, but the Thompson books, nah, dude. She knows. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean when I say I will usually go in with high expectations for a Thompson book and be okay with it. Boom, daddy. That's what I'm talking about. Except when it comes to that little kid showing up, maybe 5 times, I'd be okay with it. Poor kid. I'll talk to you guys later. Like the video, watch the ad. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.